What's wrong? What's wrong? You want to get on camera? Want to say hi? Yeah? What is going on, everyone? Tim from Tierfon Orbital. So today's demo video is going to be a relatively quick one because I'm not going to come into Fusion and talk about this chassis. I believe I kind of already did relatively not that long ago, actually. So this is a Krayt Slayer from Jawas Junkyard and my good friend Benji from Nerfherder Customs. I have installed this with the chassis that I designed for the Hilt. It is a Krayt Pearl marble reveal chassis. So we are going to come up top and talk about it a little bit, and then we will put a bleed in it and do a quick demo, and then we will be on our way, right? So this hilt was designed by my good buddy Benji at Nerfherder Customs. I love this hilt. I have one in my personal collection. It is a phenomenally unique hilt. It has touches of a lot of vintage replica parts in it. And of course, you know, it sounds great. I can't speak highly enough of this hilt. So yeah, it was an absolute pleasure of mine to design a chassis for not only my good friend, but for, you know, for Leon and everybody at Jawas Junkyard. So this hilt, it's a great hilt. So if you're thinking about, actually, I think this hilt is no longer available, but I have a feeling that there will be a second run of these hilts because they were really, really popular. And I highly suggest the hilt. It's a great hilt. So, and I'm not biased at all. So anyway, let's come up top and talk about how to use this guy. Okay. Okay. All right. So here we are, right? The Krayt Slayer. This is manufactured by Jawas Junkyard, designed by the one and only Benji from Nerfherder Customs, right? This is an awesome hilt. Okay, so we've got a lot of touches of vintage parts in this. I kind of went over this a little bit more in depth in my personal walkthrough video of this hilt, right? But yeah, a lot of touches of vintage replica flash gun and camera parts, a lot of parts that we commonly see in, you know, like original trilogy lightsaber designs. I love this thing. I love this thing from top to bottom. It's a great hilt. It's a solidly designed hilt. And it was a lot of fun doing a crystal chamber or a marble reveal chassis for this rather, right? So let's talk about the weathering on this guy first. This was weathered by me at the request of the customer, right? So I just essentially did the same weathering treatment to this one that I did with my personal. Okay, so I did a pass of aluminum black on this. I did get in some of these cracks and crevices with some burnt sienna wash, and then I go back on that wash and dry it with a blowtorch to just make it look a little bit more crackly and dry. To me, it makes it look a lot more realistic. Rust. It gives it that realistic rust look. Okay. I knocked down some of the edges on these black anodized parts, and then I also banged them up a little bit, so there are some gouges and some, you know, some dents in the emitter. And then I also, so the pommel in this is steel. I did not heat stain this. I just did a pass of matte clear coat on this just to make it look a little bit less shiny, right, to go in line with the weathering of the hilt. The cobalt ring is heat stained, just to set it off a little bit more. And that is pretty much it, okay? Let's come up top and talk about this chassis, right? So there is a threadable like button, greebly here, that helps to keep the grip in place, but obviously the grip also does thread, right? So that is not on for the demo. Let's take this grip off, get a look at this chassis. Okay, so here is the chassis. This chassis has been weathered. The upper section has been weathered, rather. And then I also did a pass of pewter rub and buff on this lower part of the chassis, right? This marble in here is a quartz marble, nice and cloudy, so it sets off that neopixel light really, really well, okay? I also have two rectangular LEDs in this chassis as well. Let's get a look at those. So this is a flat top 18350 build, okay? I sized this chassis to accept a flat top 18 350. So to you, the customer, I believe that you have these. If you don't, I'd be happy to send you this one, okay? But it is sized for the flat top variety, flat top protected 18350, okay? Spring side is your negative in this build. So spring side or negative side is down towards the speaker. So put your battery in the chassis.
A lot of carbon scoring here. Looks like you boys have seen a lot of action.
Okay. There is that marble. So that marble is nice and cloudy. So it has a lot of reflection and light dissipation in it. It looks really, really good. Okay. And then there are those two rectangular LEDs. All right. Okay. And there goes the blade plug. It's almost as if I never learned my lesson, right? So once you get your battery in, you're good to go. No kill switch in this build. Then you want to thread on your grip all the way until it stops. Okay? And then you can put that button in there once it's threaded, right? That's neat. So let's come down to the bottom. All right. So I do appreciate that we can get a look at not only those LED accents, but the marble as well through these windows. Great sounding hilt. Okay. Let's put a blade in it. Okay, so this is a 7/8 inch blade holder. You want to take the blade, take your blade, rest it on those PCB pins, and then tighten this back set screw, or this red button, knurled red thumb screw. I can't talk today. And then you are good to go, okay? See what else we got on here. Oops. So this red button will serve as your aux. That top silver button is your main. Man, this sounds so good. Let's see what else we got. One more.
What is it? Father's lightsaber.
I think that's it. Just 3 fonts on this config.
Of a Jedi Knight.
All right. So that is it. That is the Krayt Slayer. Man, this thing, it just sounds so good. Man. Like, you know, one of the things that I know about Benji is that he really appreciates good sound, and he designed this in such a way that you could really take advantage of this pommel and resonance, and it's a great sounding hilt. Right? So that is it. That is the Krayt Slayer from Jawas Junkyard, designed by Benji from Nerfherder Customs. My camera will cooperate. Great hilt. Just a super, super unique looking hilt, right? So that's all I've got. To the customer, thank you very, very much for your return business and your patience. If anyone has any questions about this particular build or anything really, please do not be a stranger. And with that being said, may the force be with you always. Have a good one, everybody.